I'm gonna start off by saying that this is in no way mental health advice, nor am I any sort of mental health counselor or professional. But I do feel like there still is a lot of power in being vulnerable and open, and I feel like by sharing this, maybe I can encourage somebody, help somebody out. And although there is power in vulnerability, depression is still depressing. So let's talk about it. One thing that I'm quickly learning about this channel is that when it comes to making these videos, God is truly the one in control here. Because there hasn't been a single video I've made or a single script that I've written that I hadn't had to live out what I'm talking about. And I had a different video planned for today, but when I was writing that script, I just couldn't seem to get the script out. I couldn't find the motivation in myself to finish the script. And don't get me wrong, bro, I love making videos, I love writing scripts, I love being a YouTuber. I just couldn't find it within myself to finish that script that day. So I just moved the deadline that I had for that script to a different day and gave myself more time to finish it. So I went to bed that day and I woke up the next day. I'm not gonna lie, the next day I felt great. I was ready to get back into the swing of things, ready to go to the gym and just start my day. So I went to the gym and then I got there and I just couldn't seem to push the weights. Not that I was weak, I just couldn't find it in myself to work out. And again, I love working out. I love setting new records. I love being in the gym. I love seeing my body grow, This day was just different. So I left the gym early, actually. I just couldn't finish the workout. And I was walking back to my dorm and I was thinking, is someone actually praying on my downfall right now? Because there's no way I just feel this way randomly. I can't do the things that I usually love doing. So I decided to just go back and start praying and journaling and asking God, what's going on, kind of, right? And as I was praying and as I was journaling, I felt this, urge to go and read my journals from the past year, 2022 and 2023. So I opened my journal from 2023 around the same time of year. And it said that I was feeling the same exact way around the same exact time of year, the same exact feelings. And I was like, that's interesting, And then I opened my journal from 2022, and again, I was feeling the same exact way. And then I was just what is going on here? So I continued to pray, and I was like, God, what happened around this time of year that I always feel depressed? I saw that there was a pattern here, but I wasn't sure why. And I felt the Lord revealed to me that I had experienced a loss at a very, very early age that I never had the space to deal with or grieve or adjust my emotions. So I kind of just buried those emotions deep within myself, and they would just kind of come back out and manifest themselves in the form of depression just year after year after year after year, until a few weeks would pass by and I just kind of get over it. I'm not really sure exactly how it works, but it's something like that. And again, I'm not here to provide psychoanalysis, I'm just trying to share my story. But in the past years, I had always dealt with these depression episodes with those same three vices that I always go to, sex, weed, and alcohol. And I never realized how much my appetite for those things increased during this time. But it was really the revelation of the pattern of it happening 3 years in a row on the exact same day, mind you, that I was there's something more here than just common seasonal depression. And when God revealed to me what it was, I was I know how I feel and I know why I'm feeling that way, but now what? And since I was so young when it happened, I don't have that many memories of that person. The only memory I had was of the day that they died. So I took the memories that I had and I wrote them down and I read it back and I was like, whoa, I was just overcome with emotion. I began to cry. Not necessarily in a bad way, but unlocking that memory again hurt. And it brought back a lot of anger and sadness, obviously a little bit of depression again. And just thinking about what had happened and the aftermath of what happened really put me, mentally, really put me in a valley. So I was still praying and crying and just going through this roller coaster of emotions. And I felt urged again to go read Psalm 23. And I wasn't really thinking super clearly, so I just kind of opened my word, went there, tried to read through it really quickly, but I felt the conviction to read it slow and with intention. And I read out loud, "The Lord is my shepherd. I have all that I need. He lets me rest in green meadows. He leads me beside peaceful streams. He renews my strength. He renews my strength. He renews my strength." That line right there was exactly what I needed to hear. That was exactly what I needed in that moment, to know that I don't have to be the source of my own strength. I don't have to be the one that renews myself when I feel like I'm weak. That he is, it gave me real comfort. So even though I was crying, I kept breathing. Even when I walk the darkest valley, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me. Your rod and your staff protect me and comfort me. Yo, like, that line right there, that section right there was exactly what I needed to hear. Like, in that moment, I was definitely in a dark valley. Mentally, I was in a dark valley. And to know that when I'm in those valleys, not only should I not be afraid, but he's close beside me. He's so close that he can not just protect me, but comfort me. Because in years past, the way that I always approached these situations was I would just isolate myself, fall into that sin, those vices. I would start drinking more. I would start having sex more. I would start just relying more on the comforts of this world. And obviously that never worked. But to know that when I'm in those dark valleys, I don't have to go and do that. It's not like God will just leave me whenever I'm feeling bad, whenever I'm crying, let me cry it out, and then come back into the room whenever I finish. No, like when I'm in those dark spaces, those dark valleys, he's right there close with me. And that right there gave me like real peace. Like, it didn't take the depression away and didn't make the loss hurt any less, but it comforted me. And I didn't make this video to give you any answers or cures for depression, or if you're feeling similar to how I am, because I don't have any answers or cures to give you. But there's a lot of power in your vulnerability. There's power in your openness. There's power in letting people know how God came through for you in the times where you felt down. In this time, God came through for me by showing me that when I'm in these dark places, that he's there with me. And there is no pain without purpose. So it's not like he's just gonna pluck me out of it just so I can feel better. There's a reason that he's allowing me to experience this feeling. There's a reason that he's allowing me to go through this pain, right? The Bible says to count it all joy when you encounter trials. So he's not going to allow me to go through pain or darkness or depression if it's not ultimately for my good and for his glory. Because there's so much power in vulnerability and openness, and I would hate to not be that way for the sake of protecting my own pride or my own image, you know? Because it's very, very important to let people know that, again, like, God can come through for them the same way he came through for me. And I just hope that if you're feeling similar to how I am, that this could just encourage you or help you to know that if you're feeling down, God can be the one to pick you back up. Because he's a good father and a good shepherd and a good God. So be encouraged.